Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to my presentation. It is very nice to have you here to attend my presentation. In this action, I would like to present a research article entitled Development of Big Books for English Teacher in Remote School by Nina Febrian Novitasari and David Novicki, which was published in IKA Journal, Ikatan Alumni VGSD, Honors Volume 8, Number 2, December 2020, Volume Volume 8, Number 2, December 9, 19, 2020, Facts 2072 until 2018 5. From the article, I will present the introduce our research background, the research problem, the research objective, the method of reasons, reason finding, and conclusion. Ladies and gentlemen, by listening to this presentation, it is expected that we know about development of big books for English teacher in remote school. Let me start from the introduce, ladies and gentlemen. Introduce English language skill can be done from an early age because children are at a critical age, the most sensitive period for learning language. In addition, many parents want their children to have English language skill from an early age in the hope that the children will make their life easier in the future. Mastery of English in children from an early age will have them answer the challenges of the mother's world, such as easy access to word and technology. Male 28 English in one of the local contents subject taught at the elementary school level. At the primary school level, many teachers teach English with an educational background or training in children's learning in general, or more specifically, learning English for children. Complaint at all 2014. Moons 2005 mentioned several conversations that English teachers must have for children. A. Knowledge and fluency in English, including good skill in classroom communication and knowledge of culture. B. Forest language pedagogy, appropriate knowledge and strategy for learning foreign language for children. C. Knowledge understanding of child development. Therefore, if you still want to equip children with English language skill from an early age, a fun learning process is the main requirement that must exist. One of the factors that can help make the English learning process fun is the phrase of the Reich. Teaching media. English teaching media for elementary school children be designed to have students learn vocabulary but early and in writing in connection with this, the English teaching media that can be used, area media that are able to introduce students to basic vocabulary such as flashcards, storytelling, feature, animal video, magazine, comics, Scrabble, and Foster. But unfortunately, not all elementary school students are like to have access to these media. Students whose living and school location are far from urban area will find it difficult to learn this media. This problem is also found in SD Negeri Sik Tambak Ukir School. The location of the school, which is far from the city, makes student access to public facility very limited. The English reading and teaching media available in school are only textbooks. As a result, learning English in school is not optimal. It takes a medium that can truly profit students with English language skill, as well as a phrases learning experiences. The big books is the answer to this problem. Big books is teaching medium in the form of a large book containing what are simple sentences and features that illustrate it. Use idea 2014 defines a big books as a reading books media that has a large size, is equipped with large writing and feature. The large letter size and to make it easy for elementary school students to learn to recognize using the big books. As described by number 109,091. Big books can help students understanding the storyline more easily and clearly. In addition, big books are also effective in keeping students focused and on what they read. Big books can also help students understanding and contents of the story, so that students can imagine that if they are the character in the story. Due to its novelty, big books media can aid students' interest and immediately in learning. Several previous research, Fahmi et al. 2010, Honsel and Schools 2012, Mahayanti 2017, Indrasari et al. 2018 have discussed the effective of the big books in learning English for elementary school children. As a result, the big books is preferred to be effective in helping students develop language skills, which include listening, speaking, writing, and reading skills. On the basic of problem identification and the success of several previous studies, the results decided to develop a big book, English teaching media for grade 4 until grade 6. Students of SD Negeri 6 Tambak Ukir, ladies and gentlemen, let me continue to problem of research. The problem of research is formulated in the following question: is the big book media effective against the reading skill of grade 4 until grade 6? SD Negeri 6 Tambak Ukir. Meanwhile, the object of research is to develop the big books teaching media as an alternative to English teaching media for grade 4 until grade 6 students of SD Negeri 6 Tambak Ukir. In previous related studies, Fahmi et al. 2010, Hansel and Schools 2012, Mahayanti 2017, Indrasari et al. 2010 have discussed the effectiveness of the big books in learning English for elementary school children. As a result, the big books is proven to be effective in helping students develop language skills, which including listening, speaking, writing, and reading skills. Next, we come to the method of research. This reason and development. The purpose of this study was to develop the big books teaching media as an alternative to English teaching media for grade 4 students of SD Negeri 6 Tambak Ukir. The procedure in this development process was adaptive from the stages of R and D, Gal et al. In this study, the 10 stages of R and D et al. Were simplified into 4 stages: 1. Need analysis, 2. Product development, 3. Product trends, and product revision. 1. Need analysis. The first stage in this research is need analysis. These stages aim to obtain clear and comprehensive information, but the main no problem. The results of the needs analysis from the basic for product development. 2. Product development. This stage including the process of material, product development, and aspects of validation. Products are produced from a set of lineages consisting of 10 terms and their use. Product development consists of several small stages, namely the process of preparing the material, the illustration process, the process of drafting, interaction for use for the teacher at the explain validation stage for explainware selective to assess the quality and influences of the media phrases. The four explain are one explain in the field of language, one explain in the field of basic education, and one English language teacher at SD Negeri 6 Tambak Ukir. The data from the validation result will be tested from the international media invigilation interaction. The factor including the following aspects: general completeness, methodology, suitability with student, physical and additional completeness, additional private, additional material, contents, vocabulary, contents, and grammar. 3. Franex trials. Franex trials in this study were carried out twice, namely small-scale trials and field trials. Small-scale trials were carried out after the Franex went through the validation and revision stage. After that, field trials were carried out with a large number of respondents with the expectation that the products really effective for the where the second stage of this trials was carried out with grade 4 until grade 6 SD Negeri 6 Tambak Ukir. 4. Product revision. Product revision is carried out based on the results of the second product trials, often from questionnaires, interview with teachers and students. This revision is final because it has gone through several sensitive stages, explain, validation, and trans, so that the results of the revision will be input for all final grades products before the dissemination stage. Finally, it is time to talk about the finding and discussion of the reason. Number 1. Need analysis. The result of the need analysis show that the process of learning English at SD Negeri 6 Tambak Ukir also has problems that are more or less the same as those at SD Negeri 1 Subarego. Students at SD Negeri 6 Tambak Ukir rarely receive English lessons because the teaching teachers there do not have enough English teaching skill. In addition, the learning media these schools are very limited, so that they cannot help making this the learning process. Limited so that they cannot help learning process. Limited and access to more comprehensive learning resources are quite difficult due to the unsupportive society economic condition of students and schools. Due to this problem, the process of learning English in school is not optimal, so that student English skill can be said to be learned. Therefore, to help with the learning of English, researchers offered to introducing a medium of alternative learning, very offered for use by elementary school students studying vocabulary. Number 2, product development. The product development stage is divided into their stage, namely material making, product manufacturing, and express validation. A. The mapping of matter. The material used in the 10 big books developed are alphabet, animal, playground, greeting and farting, and introduction. B. Product development. Product development consisted of several small stages, namely the process of preparing the material, the process of making illustration, the process of compiling iteration for use for teacher. At the material preparation stage, the results collective material from the internet in the form of supporting image to be included in the big books being developed. The selective images are of high quality above 7,000 VX, so that they are not blurry when printed. The big book that is compliant consists of teaching material and student activities. After the material and student activities have been prepared, the next stage is the illustration stage. C. Expert validation. At the expert validation stage, 4 experts were selected to assess the quality and efficiency of the resulting media. These 4 experts are one expert in the field of language, one expert in educational technology, one expert in primary school teacher education, and one English teacher. Data from the validation results will be text using international media evaluation guidelines include the following aspects: general completeness, methodology, suitability with student, physical and additional equipment, additional appropriate additional material, contents vocabulary, contents and grammar. D. Product trial. Trial 1 was conducted on October 26, 2020. This trial was conducted with grade 4 students of SD Negeri 6 Tambak Ukir. The big books that was being tested was the big books on the topic My Family. The following are the results of Trial 1. Observation sheet. The teacher seemed to be making adjustment to the media used and the student because the book size is large. and the learning process is not carried out in the classroom as usually in additional, the teacher also seemed to have a little difficulty handling student who are completing to hold the big books they are holding. From the topics of my family, not many problems were found. The only problem that arise are some mistakes in the pronunciation of the vocabulary. The teacher was sent speaking several times in Madras because the student did not understand some Indonesia terms. The vocabulary in the books really have students increase the range of their English vocabulary. Students understand vocabulary more easily because of the large and colorful feature. Students seem interested in the media used. This can be seen from the comment gives when they saw the feature in the big books. Interview, the teacher stating that the big books helping them teach English vocabulary due to it is large size and colorful writing and feature. In addition, they feel that they have received teaching materials that can complement the textbooks they are using. Trials 2 was conducted on October 27, 2020. This trial was conducted with 5th grade students of SD Negeri 6 Tambak Ukir. The large that was tested was a large book on the topic of body parts. Give the results of times 2. Observation sheet. The teacher is able to adjust to the media he uses. The teacher looks comfortable using the big books. This can be seen from the teacher movement, explaining while standing and sometimes sitting, and adjusting to the need. The teacher still occasionally explain some terms using the Mandarin language because there are some students who do not understand Indonesia vocabulary. Errors that are still encountered are mistake in think you know some vocabulary such as is and hair. Grade 5 students also look enthusiastic when learning to use a large. This can be seen from the student who want to see the feature in the books from a closer text. In additional, they are also interested when imitating the teacher's words. Students are also seen opening books after the lesson is over. However, there is one part of the fact where the image size must be enlarged, namely the head. Trial 3 was conducted with 6th grade students of SD Negeri 6 Tambak Ukir. 1 October 2020. The big book used was the big books with the topic of flager. Following are the results of trial 3. Observation sheet. In this trial, the topic used in flager growth. The aim is to introduce a type of fly in the flager that SD Negeri 6 Tambak Ukir students have never encountered before. To teach this topic, the teacher first preface so that there is no mistaken English word because the text used is a short paragraph. No longer a word like in test 1 and trial 2. The problematic difficulty remains the same. Namely, the teacher must explain them in Mandarin so that students understand it easier. Students seem to have difficulty reading text in books because they rarely read text in English. In addition, they rarely get English learning because the teacher is usually a teacher. Teaching because of the limited learning resources and English teaching skill they have to this trains the teacher act them reading so that all students had the opportunity to read. Students seem to be enjoying learning using large. Even though they read with difficulty here and there, they got input from the teacher. Ladies and gentlemen, from the article and conclusion is that it is that from the results of the validation entrance, it can be denied that larger health teachers of SD Negeri 6 Tambak Ukir teach English more easily. Big books can help teachers teach vocabulary to students with an alternative media because of the sense of the writing and colorful feature on the ledgers. Students can also learn in a fun and more memorious process. Thus, the development ledgers is valid, effective, and efficient. The ledgers is valid because it is developed based on the theory of media development, learning English for early childhood and language such effective nature because it can precisely profit what students need, namely learning media, fun activities, and increase skill practice because it can facilitate teacher and student in the learning process easily. However, even so, teachers still have to prepare themselves before teaching using a ledger so so that the material delivery process can be maximized. Ladies and gentlemen, I have finished presenting the research article starting from the introduction, our reason background, the reason problem, the reason objective, the method of reason findings, and conclusion. It is time for the discussion session. Let me start by asking everyone here a question. Do you agree that the big books media is effective in citing English teacher teacher in teaching student in remote school? Good, very true. Yes, I think the big books media is effective in having teacher learn in remote school. Will Mr. Hendrik, what the purpose of the reason present? Thank you for the answer, Mr. Hendrik. According Mr. Hendrik, this can help develop a big books for English teacher in remote school. Mrs. Lita, do you have any other opinion? According to Mr. Lita, the purpose of this study is to developing the big books teaching media as an alternative to English teaching media. Mr. Ahmad is Mrs. Lita. Answer correct. Yes, Mr. Ahmad, the answer is right. Thank you, Mr. Ahmad and Mrs. Lita. Ladies and gentlemen, time is almost over. Thank you very much for your attention and for the participant in this discussion. Please forgive me for some weakness in my presentation. I have my presentation can be beneficial for all of us. Let me end this presentation session by saying wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.